Florence,
Welcome.
can you confirm if you can hear me?
Welcome, Eswatini. Can we try the sound?
Hello, Florence.
Hello, Botswana, I can hear you and we can see you. Hi, Martin. Hello, everyone.
Good.
I have a team Eswatini also that's connected, but we don't have sound and we don't have video yet. So can you guys test it out?
Florence, this is Benito. Can you confirm if you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Ah, wonderful.
Hi.
Hello, is it Sitavile? Hi, team
Yes,
Eswatini.
yes, it's me,
Welcome.
Florence. I'd like to test if you can hear through the mic.
Yes, we can hear through the mic, but please also put your video there. And also we need a video from Zambia. Remy, if you can put it.
Florence.
Yes?
How are you?
All good. Thanks.
That's lovely. We're just doing a sound check to Swaziland.
Okay, excellent. Please test and please test the sound, the video. We need the sound and the video to work in each country. Thanks so
Can
much.
you hear me clearly though?
Yes, you could be a bit louder, but yes, thanks so
I need
much.
to be a bit louder.
A little bit louder would be perfect.
Okay, we will test video just now. We are setting up the webcam.
Okay, good luck. Thanks. It's gonna work.
Hi, Florence. Hello.
Hello, who is this?
This is Uganda. Teddy speaking.
Hi, Teddy. How are you?
Good. How are you? Are you able to hear us loud and clear?
Yes, the sound is good. Can I ask the team in Zimbabwe, the IT team in Zimbabwe, to double check the sound and the video in every country, make sure everything is working?
Hope you can see our video clearly.
Yes, we can see the video.
Okay.
It's like the room for now. So are you gonna zoom on learners when they're gonna speak?
Yes, we shall do
Okay,
that.
excellent. Okay, that's excellent. Okay.
All right.
How are things in Zimbabwe? And can we get video from Eswatini and Zambia, please? Zambia, you've been connected for a long time, so please turn the video on so we make sure everything works.
Mike.
You hear me?
When we said we want to achieve gender equality, did we mean putting the girl child on a pedestal?
Wait, Benito is trying to do that right now. So listen to what Benito is saying and then you can respond. Yeah.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, Benito, how are you?
Yes, sound check, Botswana. We can hear you and we can see you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Martin.
Okay, thanks, Benito.
South Africa. South Africa, can you confirm if you can hear me?
South Africa. Yes, this is South Africa. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Excellent.
Sure, except that on your video we are just seeing you from the yeah. Now we can see you from the front. It's fine.
So there's our crowd shot, and the team will be at the podium when they're talking.
Ah, wonderful. Thanks.
Yes. Cool.
Then Teddy Chimulwa, Uganda. Can you confirm if you can hear me? Uganda, can you confirm? Uganda.
Hello.
Hello, yes. Yeah, I can now hear you.
Can you hear us? This is Uganda. Yes.
Thank you, I can hear you.
Are you able to hear us?
Sure.
All right. Thank you. Right.
Team Zambia.
Hello. Hey, Benito, are you able to get us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, we are set and we are able to hear you loud and clear too.
Thank you. Except that we can't see you. Maybe if you can check if you can check the orientation of your camera. Yeah. Now we can see you.
Yeah, thank you. So we're just waiting for the young people. They are just in another room. Yeah, they'll take their seat shortly. Thank you.
So we are left with Eswatini. Eswatini, are you there?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, but I can't see you on camera.
Please give us a few minutes for the video. We're still trying to sort that out with the IT person. Just a few minutes, please.
Sometimes
Okay, sure. We'll check with you in a few minutes. Team Eswatini, I'm back again. Where are we? Hello, Team Eswatini. Team Eswatini, I can now see you. Can you confirm if you can hear me?
Hi, Benito. This is Florence. Can we please set up the live stream now? Because we have only 20 minutes to make sure we're live streaming on YouTube. Thanks.
Yeah, the live stream is now up and running.
Oh, excellent. Okay. I will just double check. Thanks.
Ah, wonderful. Team Eswatini, you're on mute. Can you hear me?
Hi, Benito.
Morning, yes, I can now hear you.
But can you see us clearly?
Yes, I can see you as well.
Okay.
So, Florence, I have checked with all the countries, that is Botswana, Eswatini, South Africa, Uganda, and Zambia. And yeah, everything seems okay for now.
Okay, can we get a video also from Zimbabwe? And also which image is on the live stream. So are we able to have a discussion? We need to be able to talk to each other. So if someone's asked...
maybe you can lead on that.
Can you call on each country, please? Thanks so much.
Nice one. I don't know why Cheche is a
Prince food is ready. Benito. Prince and I mono cannot even mark some money.
Just now. Was yesterday? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it is the one. Yeah, that's the one.
Let's talk here. My water bottle. Let's talk. Tipelana.
Okay, hello. Team Zimbabwe?
1, 2, testing. Team Zimbabwe, 1, 2, testing. Team Zimbabwe.
Yes.
Team Zimbabwe, 1, 2, testing. Can you hear me?
Okay, that's perfect. I will call on every country. Team South Africa, can we have someone talking in the mic?
Yes, Florence, I'm here. I'm just heading to the podium now.
Okay, excellent. So South Africa is working quite good, huh? All good. Thanks.
Cool.
Team Botswana, can we have some sound from you? Can you please answer? I can see the student. Hello?
Hi, Florence.
Okay, sound is working. We can hear you, huh?
Hello?
Team Zambia, I can see someone coming to the mic. Can we make a sound check?
Hi, Florence. Team Zambia here. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, that's amazing. Team Eswatini, can we have a sound check as well?
Yes, we're here.
Okay, all good. Can we get the sound a little bit higher, but all good?
Okay, we work on that.
Yes, so you're a bit, so we can hear you a bit more clearly. And Team Uganda, can you please make a sound check as well?
Uganda.
This is Team Uganda, and we are ready.
Okay, we can hear you
Can
well.
you hear us?
Yes,
Okay.
it seems that every country is working, huh? So we're all good, and we're already live streaming on YouTube. So I think we're starting the event in 15 minutes. In terms of technicality, we're all good, huh? So congratulations and thanks for connecting early. That's amazing. So we'll call on you one last time before we start, and then we'll start the debate. Thanks so much.
I've just said my own tea.
Perfect.
Okay, just put it on. Wi-Fi name is your name. Wi-Fi name. In this round, one is let's go Uganda. Who is Eswatini? Eswatini in blue. Botswana one name. Eswatini. Why is this so now? Are you Eswatini?
Spill band. It's 9:43. Yeah, I got him stuck when I was with Tango.
Manje.
Ah.
Chileke chapter.
Mbona mazipepa ngani
Mafuna wena
Who is Lakmo?
Lenmo.
Lenmo.
Yes.
Who's Lakmo? Lenmo.
Yes.
Kandelenje. Takuba. I'm missing two. Let me check.
Okay, so make it really.
Make it
I want to familiar
Yeah.
I'm right here.
Yeah.
Here.
She's the high boss.
It's me. And later I was in your papers. Is it not?
I pronounce myself. Hey. No. I just said my own tree, please. Hey.
You use Linda's mind.
So I will skip this one.
Alright.
Yes.
Providence. Lawrence.
Okay, so I agree that internet is not a major cause
Star.
but the cause of cloud
H-A-R.
since during the COVID-19 era, can you say
Start
what
H-A-R.
H-A-R.
Still on the sound check, Florence.
A, that is A.
Are we loud enough?
R, and exclamation mark.
this place is great.
He may say.
No, be specific. Specific now, you're specific, and now you're specific. Okay, you need to point your step in.
Okay, so now we'll say I was still loud enough, but no one is.
Okay.
anyway, personally, you know, when I did someone I thought like it around. Can I say something? My boyfriend first year university. Yeah.
You don't mention it.
What's it gonna do? Boom, my place. I'm married. Good thing you need to sell to me. Too much to get my wife.
Is it application?
It's in my lower cases. Which one am I saying?
You see yourself on screen. Not yet.
They're invisible.
No, you know what? If you see yourself on the screen, it will distract you. It's rather you see others and yourselves. Because we are the ones presenting, so you need to see yourself.
Thank you very much.
After the program.
Thank you so much.
They are seeing you. Whatever you are doing, they are seeing you.
Hey, yo, peeps. Are you ready to do this?
You know, just got to my yellow marks. Wow.
So you have seen people who you are going to be committing.
Yes.
Yeah, the ones who are doing the one in the bottom. Yes.
Oh my God.
Madara, chance.
You move. We are packed.
Yeah.
Mas usou por como você viu.
Get it, both of them will be able to jump.
Don't go try.
Okay.
You can't be safe, also, so turn to see.
Exactly.
Which country is that? Vari kunyatsoseka havasuzi vati matukuzi isi students because
Usana bokuza tisema mgeza ndatesa chama chitushikisha. Hauna comments?
Another would like was his like our daily team of friends of Africa like want to like the same as me as is
also that's expertise.
Exactly. It's one of the good tools you want to find.
let's laugh. Say that we take. No, it is. Guys are mad. Don't worry, we're going to shut them there.
Connotation of the social media. Connotation of the social media.
Where is this button now? Okay.
Okay, cool.
Every child has a right to entertainment. So in any individual causes mawe and then ndo vanataura masolutions. Uyabuda zvinhu zvandiri kuita zvari kufanira kunyora saka anonyora mapenzi ari kucrash zvoti kuonekwa kwazvikuti kuti vanzvuri kuita zvinhu zvinonyadzisei and kuzvisiva kuti ndiri kupa makosis I crash solutions. Also from me.
Yeah, we are here.
I'm saying in the support team here, you know, yeah. So, what's on that? It's fine. That's very
for the students there. Zimbabwe Broadcasting.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh, POI. Oh, okay. POI.
All right, so we can start. As you know, schools are meant to be safe spaces where learners can learn and teachers can teach in an environment that is healthy, safe, inclusive, and free of violence and discrimination. But the reality is that majority of students still face bullying, including cyberbullying, in the school setting. In fact, in 144 countries, over 1/3 of students experience violence each year in the school environment. So today we are gathered here in person in Johannesburg and also connecting from other countries, Eswatini, Botswana, Uganda, Zimbabwe, Zambia, to really go head to head and toe to toe on the issue of school violence and bullying, including cyberbullying. What you will hear today are arguments from our students as they try to defend their standpoint, in most cases, something that probably they would not believe in, but they have to argue for. Being team. I'm joined here in Johannesburg by a team of 3 judges. And if I just call your name, if you could wave. Patricia. Ooh! Jyoti. And Cynthia. So we've selected judges who are very independent and they will judge without any bias. I also have the timekeeper, if you could wave at the back there and ring your bell so we know. Great. The debate rules are as follows. All participants, including debaters, judges, and the audience members, must treat each other with respect and maintain a high level of decorum throughout the event. Debaters must refrain from making personal attacks against their opponents. Arguments should focus on the ideas and content presented rather than targeting individuals. Debaters may interrupt a fellow debater by raising their hand and simultaneously indicating that they have a point of order against anyone in the House. This means that they will wish to point out that one of the rules of the debate is being broken. Debaters may also raise their hands with a point of information. This is a question or a point of information that they may have to offer. The chairperson, who is myself, may or may not allow the point of information. Please note that no point of information will be allowed in the first and last minute of any debater because this is protected time. We've made some changes to the time. I hope you've gotten the communication. So earlier debaters had 5 minutes each and 7 minutes for the summarizer. We now have 3 minutes each and 4 minutes for the summarizer. All right, and the timekeeper will inform you if you have 1 minute remaining by ringing the bell once. By ringing the bell once. And when time is up, by ringing the bell continuously. All right, thank you so much. Now, I would like to have the students first introduce their panels. We'll start with the ones in the room, if there's somebody that can introduce who you are debating with here, and then we'll connect virtually to the others. Anyone to go with the roving mic?
PY. Hello everybody. I'm Olwetu Kuyana and I am Proposition First Speaker. And this is Sianda Chabalala and he's doing Proposition 2. And Tsokofatso Molepo, she's doing Proposition 3. And right there at the end is Jositile Ramasike and he's doing the summation. Yeah.
A round of applause, please. Botswana. Botswana, are you connected and could you please introduce the panel?
Yes, Remy. Go ahead, guys.
Hello, everybody. My name is Masamauto, the first speaker, opposition. This is Khalalitan, the second speaker, opposition. Wapela, third speaker, opposition. And our summarizer, Wame, opposition.
Thank you so much. If you could give them a round of applause. Eswatini.
Go ahead.
My name, greetings. My name is Uzile Zima. Right next to me we have Lumgarise, we have Mabuya, and our fourth speaker we have Bameleni.
Round of applause, please. Let's hear from Uganda. Team Uganda. Is Uganda there?
Uganda's on mute.
Uganda is on mute. If you could unmute, please. Uganda, please unmute.
On Zoom. You're muted on Zoom.
Uganda? Unmute on Zoom. Unmute on Zoom. Uganda IT, please, if you could unmute on Zoom.
Hello, everyone. This is Team Uganda. This is Nabuyoga Patient Shelley. And our first speaker is Kaboyo Nicole and Mbale Donald. We shall have Caesar, and then we shall have as our fourth speaker.
All right, a round of applause for Team Uganda. A round of applause for Team Uganda. Zambia. Team Zambia.
This is Team Zambia. My name is Suilandi Simponde, proposing delegation.
My name is Crystal Walia from the proposing delegation. My name is Martha Chibachapuswike, third speaker of the proposition.
Rashford Milambo, summarizing to the motion.
Round of applause for Zambia. Thank you. And then finally Zimbabwe.
Hi, this
Zimbabwe.
This is Zimbabwe. My name is Nyasha Makono and I am doing the opposing delegation.
My name is Lemo Kanengon and I am also from the opposing delegation.
My name is Bianca Beta, the third speaker.
My name is Guardian Angel Time from the non-affirmative delegation.
My name is Chakuzwa El Manasho. I'm the summarizer.
Are we done with Zimbabwe? Let's give them a round of applause. So we will have 3 rounds of debates, 3 motions, and then we'll go to the semi-finals. So the first round will be Eswatini and Zimbabwe. The second round will be South Africa and Botswana. The third round with Zambia and Uganda. And in the first semi-final, we'll have the winner of round 1 and the winner of round 2. In the second semi-final, we'll have the winner of round 3 and the runner-up of round 2 or 1, whichever is highest. And then we'll have the final on the winner of semi-final 1 and semi-final 2. All right, let's begin. This house believes that students' increased access to mobile devices and internet is to blame for the increase in cases of bullying and cyberbullying in schools. Eswatini and Zimbabwe, proposers and opposers. I'll now hand over to Eswatini with the first proposing speaker.
Greetings, Mr. Speaker and the House. Before you is the Prime Minister of the proposition side, here to propose for the motion that runs. This House believes that students' increased access to mobile devices and the internet is to blame for the increase in cases of bullying and cyberbullying in schools. As the proposition, our take on the motion is that the increase in the access of mobile devices, be it phones or tablets, either in ownership or periodic usage, is directly responsible for the heinous acts of violence or aggression among school-going children, either physically or online. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, when less students had access to mobile devices and the internet, the Global National Statistics reported that 64% of students had access to mobile devices and the internet. 24% had reported being bullied, and of these, 10% had been cyberbullied. After the COVID-19 pandemic, we saw a rise in the number of students that had access to mobile devices and the internet. The Global National Statistics reported that 92% of school-going children had access to the internet and mobile devices. 58% of students had been bullied, and of these, 43% had reported being cyberbullied. Unequivocally, statistics prove that that students' increase in access to mobile devices and the internet is to blame for the increase in cases of bullying and cyberbullying in schools. Mr. Speaker, as the proposal side, we intend to win this debate by proving the following. Firstly, the students' increased access to mobile devices and the internet is directly proportional to the increase in cases of bullying and cyberbullying in schools. Secondly, the students' increased access to mobile devices and the internet is directly responsible for the increase in cases of bullying and cyberbullying in schools. Finally, that students' increased access to mobile devices and the internet is directly responsible for changing the demographics of bullied students. Students' increased access to mobile devices and the internet causes the mainstream consumption and exposure to bullying content. For instance, in this debate, Mr. Speaker, if I were to start off quite hilariously, viewers of the debate, which I assume are predominantly high school students, will show clips of me online to other high school learners, and by tomorrow I would be all over the internet. This was best seen when the Times of Eswatini reported a story of two same-sex high school girls where one of them was being physically assaulted by a peer in class. The newspaper outlet was late to the news because even before the story was published, I, like many other high school students, had seen the viral video of the grueling incident and laughed about it. This directly resulted to the increase in cases of bullying and cyberbullying in schools. It proves that when students are more exposed to bullying content, they feel it is normal and that they too can do it. With that, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to give the floor to our second speaker.
Thank you. Thank you so much, first proposing side for Eswatini. I will now cross over to the first opposing speaker from Zimbabwe and credit the balance of your time, Eswatini.
Okay, thank you. So I am opposing the fact that the access to digital gadgets is the major cause of cyberbullying. So I believe that every child has a right to the digital environment, and the digital environment itself has helped in the thriving of the rights to education and the rights to access of information as per Article number 17 of the UNCRC. And this digital environment involves the use of electronic communication tools that are within the gadgets. So we cannot blame the access to gadgets for being the main cause of cyberbullying. And furthermore, we can blame a lack of good parental control, right? Parents hand over gadgets to children without teaching them good digital citizenship. So they are bound to engage into cyberbullying because they won't have the respect and the empathy to understand on how the victim feels when they get bullied, right? So we can even blame factors like the lack of like peer pressure itself, right? Children can be influenced by peer pressure, right? A learner can see the person sitting next to them engaging in cyberbullying just so that he or she could fit within the group, and they don't want to be left out or being an enemy to them. They end up engaging in cyberbullying. So we cannot blame the access to gadgets for being the major cause of cyberbullying. And if the gadget has no these electronic communication tools within them, they are just good and they can be used without engaging into cyberbullying, because as of now, we are in a digital environment, we have access to gadgets, and there is no prevalence of cyberbullying, so we cannot blame the access of gadgets being the main cause of cyberbullying. With this being said, thank you.
Thank you so much. I'll invite the second speaker from the proposing side.
So Tini, your Zoom
You're
is
muted.
unmute.
Please unmute on Zoom IT Eswatini.
Mr. Speaker and the House, greetings. I'm second speaker from side proposition proposing the motion at hand today. My title is to rebut side opposition's argument, first speaker, and move to my own substantives. Rebuttals. First speaker from opposition side stated that this is due to the lack of parental guidance, the increase of cases of bullying and cyberbullying in schools. My rebuttal, Mr. Speaker, is that, however, the increase in these mobile devices and the internet has made it hard for parents to monitor these devices. Before the increase of these devices, parents were able to monitor one cell phone that was used all over around the house. But now, with all students having cell phones in the house, with every child owning a cell phone, it is very hard to check these cell phones and probably and most definitely involve themselves in the students' privacy. Moving on to my own substantives. The increase of mobile devices and the internet, Mr. Speaker, has led to the case of bullying and cyberbullying, the increase in cases of cyberbullying and bullying in schools, because most devices allow students to access to, most devices allows a majority of students to remain anonymous online under fake account creation, fake names, fake profile pictures, and even worse, fake personal information in creating those pictures. This student is emboldened and given a sense of power that they can do anything.
May the speaker pause? Point of information raised from Zimbabwe.
So if you look at Android version 9, they have a setting where it is called parental guidance control. This is a setting whereby a parent can link their phone with the child's phone. So this shows that parents can actually be involved in the life of a child, in the digital life of their child. So how are you saying that parents cannot be involved if they have a setting whereby we can link our phones, both my mother's phone and the son's phone? How are you saying parents are not
seconds
involved?
are up.
Not
30
taken.
seconds are up.
Not taken. Mr. Speaker, this sense of the increase, the sense of anonymity emboldens the students and gives them courage to bully other students and further ridicule them to the primary schooling, because they know they will not be tracked and identified. It doesn't only affect the primary bully, Mr. Speaker, but it also affects a random student who can easily become a secondary bully, whereby they can
Okay, my name is Bianca Beta, and I'm the third speaker from Zimbabwe. So we agree that internet is not the major cause of cyberbullying and bullying in schools, but we have so many causes, and these causes include entertainment. Like during the COVID-19 era, students whereby they were not going to school, they actually used their cell phones in order to cyberbully someone from their homes. And then also we have revenge. When someone is bullied by someone, the person might not want to revenge that person, but can revenge another person. And this person, after being revenged, can also revenge another person. Therefore, I'm not in agree that a person cannot stand for him or herself after being bullied, because we have so many solutions that we can do. These solutions include establishing clear policies. That is to develop and enforce strong anti-cyberbullying policies within schools and educational institutions. Safe online environment. That is encouraging the use of private settings and provide guidance on how to protect personal information online. Other solutions include education and awareness. We may teach others the signs, consequences, and prevention is also strategies of cyberbullying. And then we also can promote empathy and digital citizenship. So internet is not causing all these things to happen, but the other causes are so many, including peer pressure and also parental guidance. With this, I thank you.
Thank you. We will credit the balance of your time. Let's now move on to the final speaker and summarizer from Eswatini.
Greetings, Madam Speaker and the House at large. Excuse me. Greetings, Mr. Speaker and the House at large. I, Bamelele Tajwana, fourth Speaker of Side Proposition, am here to prove why Side Proposition deserves to win this debate and why, and also summarize the debate. Mr. Speaker, we as Side Proposition deserve to win because we have provided clear, crystal clear arguments which we have supported with rock solid evidence, as opposed to our opposition team who failed to provide any statistics for their arguments. They did not understand the motion at hand because they kept on telling us about alternative causes of the cyberbullying and not linking it to the motion, which is dealing on blaming this increase in cyberbullying on the increase in access to mobile devices and the internet. We can see this from the first speaker opposition, where she stated that the lack of parental control is to blame for the increase in cases of cyberbullying, but she failed to give us any tangible statistics of how this has led to the increase, rendering her point null and void. Moving on to their second speaker, who touched that students do not report this bullying despite the fact that they are given the opportunity. My question to side opposition is that how many times have they seen such cases, and how many times have people actually reported such cases and actually seen consequences of them reporting them? I say this, ladies and gentlemen, that side opposition really failed to deliver on the motion. Side opposition really failed to deliver on the motion, as in comparison to us, whereby we provided conclusive evidence for our points and our arguments. Just in case you have forgotten, I will refresh you on our arguments and how clear they were. Our first speaker argued, as a team proposition, we argued on various different points, such as the fact that the mainstream exposure to content of bullying, which has increased with the increase in access to mobile devices, which has led to the erosion of empathy, which students might have felt towards each other. We also touched on the fact that cyberbullying has increased because of the increase in the gadgets, in the electronic gadgets and devices, along with the internet, as they are able to remain anonymous and bully each other and are untraceable. We also touched on the point of de-individualization, ladies and gentlemen, which is a phenomenon used to describe that people who are usually in school or around quieter groups do not bully others, but when they get access to the internet and their mobile devices, they are exposed to a different company. And
1 minute remaining.
And they are exposed to a different group of people, and they will bully others in order to try and remain relevant and acquire fame. With all of this said, Mr. Speaker, I vehemently believe that we as Team Proposition deserve to win this debate because of all of our conclusive, rock-solid, clear evidence which we provided to our points, which were directly in line with the motion, as opposed to Team Opposition, who was totally off topic. With that, I'd like to rest my case.
Thank you. And now I'll invite the summarizer from the Team Opposition to give the closing argument.
Thank you. My name is Gadi Time, the summarizer for the opposition team. So clearly, I want to outline that we deserve to win this debate because we provided causes of bullying, which you see, when we speak of cyberbullying, the problem is we are linking all types of bullying to the internet, but the internet, it is not the one that is causing the bullying, but it is simply an alleyway that is being used for the bullying. If I give you a rod does not cause an accident, but a reckless driver does. So what we're doing, we were trying to bring to light to you that the internet, it is not what is causing this, but it is simply an alleyway that is being used. In fact, it is simply something that is exposing something that has already been there, but it is not the major cause of this. I heard the fourth speaker says exposure to content, it causes moral poverty, and it causes deprivation of a human being, and they become, they become violent. Exposure to the internet does not cause violence. A phone simply stands there, does not do anything bad to anyone or anything, but how I use that phone is what matters. When I'm exposed to the phone, I can actually go and I can block those sites, and at the end of the day, I am safe. And we clearly gave evidence for this. These are case studies of things which are happening in the country that we are in right now. We speak of mobile citizenship. You see, when we come onto the internet, we need to be taught these things because we were given a 2. The 2 does not cause. Get me clear on that. The 2 does not cause. So our arguments, they were solid because we were not giving you information on just what are some other causes of bullying, but we were trying to highlight to you and show you that this is not the major cause of these things, but it is just simply something that is now being blamed because it is there. With this, I thank you.
Is that what point is that?
Excuse me?
What point is that, Eswatini?
Mr. Speaker, we would like to bring forth the fact that Team Opposition keeps on talking about the root causes of the cyberbullying and bullying in schools, but are not making reference to the motion at hand of how these causes have actually caused an increase in the bullying itself. We acknowledge that there has been bullying from before the increase, but we are looking to tend to the issue that this increase in the mobile devices has actually caused this bullying. They are not touching on the motion.
The 30 seconds is up. Summarizer from the opposing side, please continue.
You said we are not bringing to light the fact that the increase in mobile devices is causing bullying. I clearly understand that is not what we are supposed to do. We are supposed to come here and tell you why it is not. You see, getting a phone does not, I don't know how to explain this to you. Getting a phone does not cause bullying. Getting a phone does not cause me to be bullied. Going on the internet does not cause me to be bullied. But it's simply an environment that people are abusing, and it is not the cause of bullying. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Well, that brings us to the end of the first round, which was Eswatini proposing the motion and Zimbabwe opposing. We'll give minutes to the judges to just finish off on their points, and I hope their mics are muted in case they want to confer. IT, you can put some song.
School is the place where gender gets deeply entrenched into the way boys and girls think and behave with each other. And if you condone or ignore any violence, that is going to assume a major dimension later in life because it was seen as something acceptable.
If we want to make sure that every child has the opportunity to learn and to succeed, they have to be able to learn in a safe environment.
Violence in and around schools is perpetuated by gender inequalities, harmful social norms, and gender stereotypes.
It can constitute physical violence, psychological violence, sexual violence. It's really important that we talk about gender and violence in schools. It's happening to millions of children.
School is the place where gender gets deeply entrenched into the way boys and girls think and behave with each other. And if you condone or ignore any violence, that is going to assume a major dimension later in life because it was seen as something acceptable.
If we want to make sure that every child has the opportunity to learn and to succeed, they have to be able to learn in a safe environment.
Violence in and around schools is perpetuated by gender inequalities, harmful social norms, and gender stereotypes.
It can constitute physical violence, psychological violence, sexual violence. It's really important that we talk about gender and violence in schools. It's happening to millions of children all over the world, and it's happening to children who are the most vulnerable.
So if we fail to take actions on this issue, it means that we will let the next generation live with a profound trauma because this happens during the formative period. They might not want to finish their education, and it will eventually affect their socioeconomic status.
Schools and teachers can make a significant contribution when they use robust, comprehensive, research-informed programs to teach the relationship skills that children need and to bring forward the learning activities which engage children critically with the influence of gender norms. They need enough time in the curriculum, a home for the program, and they need training so that they become confident in the use of collaborative learning strategies.
We should have a specific mechanism for identify, for reporting, and supporting services for all victims happen in the school.
All the actors need to be aware of this problem. You need to address the whole problem of violence from different angles.
Those who are connecting virtually, please just remember when you speak to tell us your name and your country. That would be really appreciated. All right, we'll move on to the second one. I'll give the judges some time later as well to finalize. So if you're not done, it's still fine. We're moving to the second round, on second debate. All right, this house believes that girls are more likely to experience bullying, including cyberbullying, and mental health challenges such as depression and anxiety compared to boys. And for the proposing delegation, we have South Africa, and for the opposing delegation, we have Botswana. I will now invite the first speaker, or the government delegation, to come and address the House. Your 3 minutes starts now.
Okay, my name is Olwetu Kunyana, and I'm from South Africa doing the proposition first speech. Let us take one for the women. Let us listen to my speech. The first thing that we need to look at is, what does bullying look like? Firstly, let's look at like the intimidating and the manipulation that, like, when someone bullies you, they most likely want you to do what they want. We believe that bullying happens to the most vulnerable actor because of the imbalance of power. We believe that an imbalance of power is most likely going to look like the bully being stronger than the victim. This is to say that girls are usually victims of this because they're inherently weaker than boys. This is to say that the imbalance of power is most likely going to be very victimized towards girls because they're inherently weaker than boys. The second thing that we need to characterize is the different forms of bullying. We have four things. Firstly, let's look at verbal bullying as something where like people use harmful words. Secondly, let's look at physical bullying where like it's violent and it is very like physical interaction. And thirdly, let's look at emotional bullying, and when like this is where depression, anxiety, and etc. usually happens. And lastly, indirect bullying, where we look at social media and like cyberbullying in and of itself, and like the narratives and the rumors that are being spread around. We believe that girls are most likely going to fall under this victim of indirect bullying, where there's a lot of narrative and rumors literally falling around. Other than that, we have two burdens. Firstly, we need to prove to you why girls are most likely going to experience more extreme bullying, and secondly, why society allows for harmful narratives to exist. I'll be taking on the burden on like how girls are most likely going to experience a lot of bullying, which is going to be very extreme towards them. This is to say that the comparison between boys and girls and how they exist in the society is because boys are most likely little to the god. They do not really care about what the society literally looks at them. This is why we literally have a lot of men who literally walk around shirtless because they don't really necessarily care about how the society looks at them. Then we have girls on the other hand who care about the society. This is the reason why girls literally wear makeup. We believe that they care about how people look at them and like how they care about how the society perceives them on a large scale. We also believe that boys on the other hand are people who are most likely going to be violent, meaning that whenever they bully, it is most likely going to be very visible for people to interact with that violence. This is to say, when a boy beats another boy, we are most likely going to see the visible interaction, and we are most likely going to resolve or solve that issue. Within girls, we believe that girls usually happens on rumors, and when rumors literally happen, we believe that it's mostly on cyberbullying. This is something that is not visible towards teachers and adults around. This is to say that if it's not visible, they are not able to see what's going on, and they are not able to resolve the issue. This is just to show you that on opposition's world, we are most likely going to have girls who experience a lot of bullying with no chance of being helped, other than boys who literally experience a chance of being helped.
Time is up. I'll invite the first speaker from the opposing delegation, Eswatini. Please remember to introduce yourself. Oh, sorry, from Botswana. From Botswana. Your time starts now.
Protocol highly observed, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nasamautu from Botswana opposition side, and we strongly disagree with the motion that says that girls are more likely to experience bullying, including cyberbullying and mental health challenges such as depression and anxiety, as compared to boys. According to Psychology Today, bullying is a distinctive pattern of repeatedly and deliberately harming and humiliating others. While according to the National Center of Biotechnology Information, cyberbullying is an aggressive behavior involving a type of electronic communication intended to harm a victim that can have a profound effect on adolescents. Mental health, according to UNESCO, is an emotional, physiological, social well-being, coping with the normal stresses of life. There are four types of and then according to Mental Health Foundation, mental health problems are difficult experiences that make it harder for us to get on with our everyday life. There are four types of mental health challenges known as mood, anxiety, personality, and psychotic disorders. We strongly disagree with this motion, and we believe that boys are more likely than girls to experience bullying, cyberbullying, and mental health challenges due to socialization. According to Oxford Languages, socialization is the process of learning how to behave in a way that is acceptable to society. as we all know, from the beginning of time, boys have been taught to always put on this rigid structure, and they have been taught that they are practical creatures and that they should be able to make decisions without having their emotions influence them. This leads to boys having this attitude of anger and aggression towards the society. Like the first speaker of South Africa said, that they don't care about the society. No, it's not that they don't care about the society. It's that they have been taught to behave as if they don't care about society. They are not given platforms where they are able to voice their opinions, where they're able to voice their emotions, and are ignored. We are taught that boys are supposed to have a practical faith, make practical decisions, and supposed to have a rigid structure whereby they don't voice their opinions. But that is not true. A boy, as much as a girl, should be able to voice their opinions. Therefore, boys experience more bullying, because if you don't do this, if you voice your opinions, if you voice your emotions, if you ask for help, then you're considered as a weak person, as a weak boy, and you are considered that you are given names as the scum of society, and you are told that you are an embarrassment to boys, to the boy society, a silly excuse of a boy. Well, that is not true. Boys, as much as girls, boys more than girls, more likely than girls, experience bullying because they are not given a platform to express themselves. Instead, they are given this rigid thing, they are given this belief that we grew up with from the very beginning of time to this day in the 21st century, years and years later, after introducing equality among genders, that we still believe as a society that boys are supposed to be these male structures that are practical. Well, that is not true. As much as a female is a practical person, as much as a female is an emotional person, boys are also emotional. Thank you.
Will be penalized. All right. Let me now invite the second speaker from the government delegation to come and address the House. South Africa. Please remember to introduce us.
I'll be in my speech in 3, 2, 1. Hello, my name is Sianda Shabalala. I am from Gauteng and I'm from South Africa. Second speaker of side Proposition. And I can tell you already that opposition has failed to win this debate, but they miss blatant characterization of what boys are and actually them buying into our own characterization. You see, we come off with the first opposition speaker who tells us that yes, boys have been taught how to behave since the beginning of time because of socialization, and they are taught not to care, and therefore they don't have the platform. But this goes against that very same notation, because boys have been embedded with the thought of masculinity, that being that a man is more powerful than a woman, and therefore their views are more important than a woman's. So therefore that whole point actually contradicts their whole case. Therefore, we are arguing with an opposition that doesn't understand the true intention of this moment, of this motion. For side opposition to win, they have to give us a clear comparative world whereby the roles are reversed and boys do experience more bullying than girls, to which they have not actually given. Now, I'd like to begin with some reconstruction. Firstly, my first speaker for side proposition mentioned the points of how girls bullying is less visible than boys bullying. We see how boys often go out about expressing their emotions in terms of physical violence, being that they duke it out, they fight with one another, because yes, that's what it means to be a man. But if you look at girls sort of bullying with social aggression, girls actually bully each other in a way that is actually not being able to be seen amongst various different educators, that being cyberbullying online. They can create various false accounts. They can create various different group chats to which teachers are not able to monitor. Therefore, it is much harder for this bullying to be noticed and monitored, to which side opposition has not engaged on this point entirely. Now we move on to how we believe that in society today, society is already pushing girls' backs against the wall in various ways, that being the social way, the political way, the education way, and of course the cultural way in today's society. Now let's look at Africa, for example. If we're looking at cultural aspects, let's look at circumcision. For circumcision for boys, it is seen as a rite of passage, the rite of passage to truly becoming a man. Whereas with girls in a lot of African continents, circumcision is done with genital mutilation, whereby girls' body parts are genitally mutilated forcefully against their own will. What this means is that girls are actually being pressured into a forceful way of actually being mutilated, whereas vice versa for the boys is actually seen as empowerment. Now we move on to the social way, whereby education is limited. An example of this would be the Taliban, and how the Taliban actually enforces education on women, that being that women don't deserve education, and therefore they're only limited to secondary level education. Now, what does this mean for this motion? Well, this simply means that all of these narratives are important because they influence how students actually engage with girls in these schools. Because all of these narratives are being pushed onto the boys and the girls alike, these actually give ammunition to continue the bullying for these girls. Therefore, we believe and stand with the side that thinks that it is more logical to assume that girls undergo more bullying. So we need to side with the side that actually convenes to this logical system, and unless side opposition actually notifies the world that we live in, they cannot win this debate. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Botswana, I'm told you did not hear the bell at first, so you will not be penalized for going over time.
Thank you.
Let me invite the second speaker from the Botswana delegation to come and address us.
My government and the House at large, my name is Khaleta Masalisa. The protocol is highly observed. And my team and I will be opposing the motion that states that this House believes that girls are more likely to experience bullying, including cyberbullying and mental health challenges as depression and anxiety compared to boys. And Mr. Speaker, I just love how my government has prepared for this debate without no research or whatsoever. It really shows how much trust they have in themselves. But however, humanity never ceases to show us that trust will be the end of humankind. The truth is, despite the popular misconception that has been spread out and inherited from ancient times to generation to the propaganda of modern nations that girls are more vulnerable than boys and that they're exposed to bullying, cyberbullying than boys. It is an absurd and biased belief. In fact, research shows that boys are more likely to experience bullying and mental health challenges than girls. Boys are more likely to experience physical bullying and cyberbullying than girls. In addition, boys suffer from depression and anxiety. That the idea that girls are more vulnerable to bullying and mental health challenges is simply not supported by these facts. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to speak about body shaming. From being short in height to owning a too skinny body type, having a pot belly, to being hyper-conscious about that private parts.
POI allowed, may the speaker
having for the private, have a little patience. I'll answer your POI as I'm continuing. From being short and talk about social issue of male men to realize that they are not alone in this. Yes, women have come to unrealistic standards on social media. The emotions, when we say to our boys, stop crying, make them look less masculine. Girls have a tendency, in this case, we're talking about emotional. So South Africa has increased has recorded the highest and unspoken emotions towards these girls, and as they believe that girls are never.
Time up for Botswana. Time up.
Ready to start in 3. Go through bullying. We're saying that comparative before I get into the things that we actually clashed on, right? First, when we tell you that girls are emotional beings, that slut shame me. If they're going to tell me that I don't look good, I'm going to take it to a higher level, right? But cool. Let's
after the first minute and before the last minute. But now you can.
We should strongly agree. What our third speaker is doing is.
I think that you are the one that needs to read the motion correctly because it says that I don't think that POI was relevant. Cool. Let's get into that first clash about socialization, right? So as people who are not supposed to be vulnerable. We told devices the need for them to actually fight for themselves. This is to say that because these men are being bullied, they're going to want to fight it out. That's something that we value, as opposed to when it's just a woman who's going, is that when we see men who are going
not allowed
social media, right? But then the second thing then is about society and this idea about it within society. We told to you that women are demoralized within society. Women are told that men don't necessarily care because they can walk around with like half. That's how we show to you why women are more vulnerable, which means they're more likely.
I'll invite the third.
The arguments raised by the government. Speaker from Botswana, who is on the opposition side, about their image in society. But Men's Line in Australia clearly states otherwise. Society has created a mold that boys and men should fit into that US intelligence. Therefore, they can get bullied more. Ladies and gentlemen, the fact that we lead a family, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not have the emotional strength and intelligence.
Joy from South Africa.
Don't you think you need more
Men also deal with children, but then they do not do the mental intensive level, different emotions and moods. Now, moving on to our points surrounding these issues. For example, 62% of boys, what's these cases, they're seen as weak, they're called derogatory terms. As a result, they'll have fear of talking about this. And obviously, as a result, men do not have the emotional diversity that is needed. When a girl is surprised when you see very high cases of violence among boys and men. Ladies and gentlemen, it is about, but does that mean that you have to install a matriarchy in place?
The final speaker to close.
Team. So, panel, let's actually realize that both genders actually experience the same amount of trauma. But all we are saying, when men go for initiation, they actually feel trauma, with leaving emotional scars. That's experienced by boys. So let's take them at their best. What trauma? Even though they are then we would say, aside, actually men are actually going to experience that much of solve the issue and stop the fight, not continue. Is to show to you why girls I say that the problem is WhatsApp. They don't realize that there's social media groups which boys can interact with, and I don't know point of physical fights. But they don't actually realize it's actually the girls who are mostly girls are actually emotional.
1 minute.
I think clearly to show the lack of engagement.
I invite the last speaker from side opposition.
And I am here to stand and face bullying, including cyberbullying, and what the government has just done is completely the opposite. They've said until now it's complete statistics to prove them. Data split. While for girls was 32.1, more bullying. And a document provided from the Young Risk Behavior Civilian, cyberbullying, in fact. So tell me how information. According to
statistics clearly don't engage with how the society with children. Please engage with that point.
According to Psychology Today, women are more encouraged to represent their points with no way, know-how, no direction, aren't provided with support. And it is not appropriate to express that in our popular culture today. Toxic masculinity nowadays in society. Unlike our opposition, we have provided evidence and statistics that prove among males than females. And yes, which brings us time in never. Thank you.
I'll give 2 minutes to the judges to confer. And if you need a bathroom break, we have